Hi everybody, it's me, I'm back. I am so sorry I have been so inactive on here. Usually I upload like twice or at least once a week and I'm not posted in about 10 days. Before we get into the video, I am bringing comment shoutouts back, so if you want to be the next video's comment shoutout, all you have to do is leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel and turn my post notifications on. You can shout out anything like your TikTok, whatever. Also, I just want to point out my wall behind me isn't painted white yet. But this one is, so that's why they're different colours. If you are somebody that's subscribed to me for the fun videos and more funny ones, or like my drunk videos, then you don't have to watch this. This all began, I think this happened when I was 18. A bit of the backstory just so you kind of know where I was at that point. Where I am now in life, where I was then mentally, is completely different. Like, I am a different person. If you met me back then and then you met me now, it would be like meeting two different people. And then I feel like I was a bit more of a loose cannon especially when I was like 16. This all roots back to something that had happened in my kind of area. Ever since that happened, I got so paranoid, genuinely got paranoia. I cannot explain to you how paranoid I truly was. I have horrific thoughts about getting murdered. I thought I was going to die. I could not get it out of my head. It was a constant thought. Yes, people should be scared about getting murdered, right? Actually, you would be scared about getting murdered. This was like an obsession. This was genuine, like, proper anxiety about getting murdered. I used to have dreams about people breaking into my house and like stabbing me. It was all about getting stabbed, most of it. I would have horrific sleep paralysis where somebody would come up my hallway and like drag a knife down my back, and I would feel the knife, like physically feel the knife getting dragged down my back in my dreams, and I couldn't get up. And I genuinely think this is to do with the flat that I was living in. It gave really bad vibes. Ever since I moved out of there, it's completely different. So I've got so many story times about being in that flat and like paranormal stuff. So if you want to hear that, then let me know. It's basically an obsession that I thought I was going to die. I couldn't even walk to the shop by myself. I would genuinely be terrified. I couldn't walk home by myself at night, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but it was worse than I'd ever been before. Like, before I would like not mind walking along the street, but my friend Samantha, I think she's the only one who actually witnessed how bad this actually became, because I would be like, we didn't live that far apart at this point. I couldn't even walk from hers to mine alone. Was not good. We would walk each other halfway and I would run home. Like, I would be terrified. In this flat, when I was home alone, say I came in from after school, I'd open my door and I'd go in and I'd search every single part of my house without locking my door, because I don't want to lock myself in with somebody. This was my thought process. So I would check my full house, and then once I'd seen everything like where I was fine, then I would lock my door. Genuinely check my house about 6 times after that. I was sitting in and I heard, like, do you know how houses, you know the noises your house makes? I would hear a tiny noise and I would search my full house. Like, my mum knew even how bad that was. I would sleep with a knife under my pillow just in case anyone broke in. Even though the door was locked, the windows were closed, like nobody could murder me. To this day I still am a little bit scared, so I always make sure my house is locked. It's not fully gone, but this was really bad. Like, I can't explain this, and hopefully none of yous have this, because it was a horrible way like of thinking. I even remember one night my mum was at a caravan, like my little brother and sister and stuff like that, and the other nights I was staying somewhere, but there was one night that I had to stay, like the first night she went, I had to stay by myself, and I genuinely got myself drunk by myself because I was that scared. So I had to drink to take away this fear, and this is when I was like 16 or 17 I think at this point. So yeah, that's a little backstory. I was genuinely terrified of living in that flat. I would check it 24/7. I would think somebody was breaking in 24/7. Horrible way of thinking. The most related thing that happened in that flat to this incident I'm going to tell you about, or this thing that had happened to me, was I remember one day, like, I genuinely had like a breakdown. I can't explain it. It wasn't like a crying breakdown. It was like a breakdown where I went a little bit not right. Like, something clicked in my head, and I was like, I went in and I said to my mum, oh mum, I need to go and get a taxi to work, hurry up, like you need to phone me a taxi to work. And she was like, what, it's Sunday, you're not working? Because I never worked on Sundays. And I was like, mum, yes I am. And I started crying saying, I'm going to be late for work, I need to go to my work and all that. And she was like, Emma, what the hell, like, you're not working. I don't know what came over me, I just wasn't in the right state of mind. Can't really remember what happened after that, but that is, like, this is where it kind of began. And this is kind of, I genuinely still don't know to this day what came over me. Like, I wasn't in the right frame of mind, like I was kind of hallucinating. Another day, the person I was with at the time, they came to see me, and I let them in my house, but I wasn't thinking straight. Like, I just wasn't thinking straight, and we were sitting and I just started crying and saying these weird things. I wasn't even, like, I felt like I was floating. I can't explain it. Like, I cannot even explain what happened to me still to this day on the two occasions, but I feel like these are linked to the overall. We moved out because I was adamant to move out my flat because, like I said, all this other stuff. We moved out into a house. The freakiest part is, the first thing I said when I went and looked at that house is, oh right, okay, it's good because there's only a back door, so like nobody can break in. And my mum was like, why are you thinking about that? Because there was only windows on the back end of the house, so my bedroom was on the back end of the house, so I knew if I heard my gate opening that I would know if somebody was breaking in. When we moved out of my flat, I was still in this anxious state of mind of somebody murdering me, but I wasn't as bad. I'd always lock the door, I would run up the stairs, like, I feel like everybody does that, runs up the stairs because they feel like somebody's chasing them. But it actually got to a point where I would always have like genuinely my mum would be like, where is my kitchen knives? And I would be upstairs with like every single sharp knife that was in the kitchen. So if somebody broke in, they probably would bring their own knife, but they couldn't like get a knife out the kitchen to come kill me because I had them all in my room. This is what I was thinking. So I would have all, like, my mum would actually get annoyed. She would be like, Emma, like, you're safe, the door's locked, you're in with us, like, you're absolutely fine. And it's annoying because I need my knives, like, you can't just take them all. And it sounds funny, but it really wasn't funny, obviously. Also, like, barricade my room door when I would go to sleep, so I couldn't sleep if I hadn't barricaded my room door with, like, what I used to do was put my mirror, like my standing mirror, against my door, so then if somebody tried to come in, I would hear the mirror fall and I would know, and I would wake up because I'm a light sleeper. So this was all my thought process, which is horrific to think that I thought that way. Like, I don't think like that now. Like I said, I do always make sure my door's locked, but I don't barricade my room or anything like that. I don't sit and sleep with knives. Sometimes I might, but not all the time. I had this horrific fear of like dying, and I never used to have this. It just came over me one day. Like, it never used to be a thing, so I don't know where it came from. Now I'm not scared of dying at all. Like, if I get told I was dying tomorrow, I genuinely, I was going to say would be happy. I wouldn't be happy. I genuinely wouldn't care. Like, I'm not afraid of death anymore, but I was back then. In my house one night with this person, I'm not going to say who they were because like we're not getting like people moaning at us. And his friend's mum passed away, and he was telling me this story about how like his friend basically said, oh, she knew that she was going to die, like she knew, so she told like his dad to kind of look after them and stuff like that. Then when he said that, triggered me. Like, I was lying down and he was like, oh yeah, she knew she was going to die. And I said, how would she know she was going to die though? But when I said that, I was hungover this day as well. So I used to, when I got hungover, I would feel like, not sick, I would feel like I was kind of fading away. Like, I'd feel so tired. Like, I wouldn't feel like fully there, if that makes sense. I would just sleep all day, which I still do now. But I don't feel the way I used to feel. Because I used to drink my vodka with like LS3, so that was like so much energy, just so much caffeine, so then the next day I'd feel drained. How did she know she was going to die? And he was like, I don't know, maybe she just felt like a bit faint. And as soon as that sentence came out my mouth, it wasn't like a panic attack. I can't explain it. Something clicked in my head and I was like, I think I'm going to die. Because I felt like I was fading away, but it was only because I was hungover, and I felt like this all the time. And I was like, I think I'm going to die, like I think I'm dying. And he was like, no, you're not dying. And like, I can't explain it. I just felt automatically like fucked. Like I honestly can't explain it. I felt like I was fading away. I started crying. I was like, this is actually, like, it does sound a bit funny, but it's not funny. Like, it wasn't a funny situation. Genuinely scared, and I thought I was dying. And like, when I shut my eyes, I felt like, I can't explain it, like I felt detached from my body. Like, I felt like I was inside my head and I was looking down at my body, but this was just like a shell to me. I can't explain it. And I was in my own head, and when I shut my eyes, I was like, I need to shut my eyes, like I can't look at everything just, all the colours of the room, everything just seemed so overwhelming. So I was trying to shut my eyes, but I felt like my eyes were still open, because I just felt like I was shutting my eyelids, but like I was still awake inside. And I was like freaking out. It's the weirdest feeling ever, I can't explain it. And I was like, I need to go to sleep, but I started freaking out, like I need to go to sleep, freaking out, and I couldn't get to sleep. All these thoughts were like rushing through my head, and then I ended up like conking out because I needed that feeling to go away. That's why I was trying to force myself to sleep. I don't know how long I fell asleep for, but when I woke up, I still felt the same. So I felt like I wasn't real. Like I can't explain it. I felt like I wasn't real. Like I just can't explain it. Like I didn't feel like I was living my life. I didn't feel like it was real life. So the person I was with was like, well, I'll order some food. Let's order some food so you can maybe like chill out a bit. Because I was really panicked by this feeling because I couldn't explain it. It genuinely felt like I had just smoked green. Like it felt like how you feel on a bad trip. Like I was inside my head. This is why I don't take drugs, because ordered food and I couldn't even look at the food. I couldn't eat it. Like I couldn't. And I was like, I need to go for a bath. Now this part is going to sound a bit stupid, but this just shows how out of my mind I was at this point. So I went in, started running a bath. I ran the water about that deep. I'm not even joking, right? And I went in it, got naked, lay in it. And they were sitting in the toilet with me like, you're okay? Like, but they couldn't understand. And I couldn't expect anybody to understand that's not been through that, whatever that was, because how could you imagine what I was trying to describe, like not feeling real? Like you can't imagine that unless you experience it. So I was lying, and then I was like, I need to pee. I peed in the bath. I was out, like I'd lost my mind. That might sound funny, but it wasn't funny. Like I peed in the bath. Then obviously I came out of the water. And I was looking at my hands, in fact. Every single little line on my hand looked 10 times more prominent. Like it felt like I took some dodgy like acid or something. My hands seemed so big, and like all the lines, I could see them all. Just my hands looked so detailed, can't even explain it. And then when I went back in, I was like, I can't really remember after that. Like genuinely that day just disappeared to me. I don't know what happened after that. So I put it down to being like hungover, but the next day when I woke up, I still felt like that. The next day I woke up, I still felt like that. I genuinely was so scared. I was like, what is going on? I thought I was losing my mind. So then I was like, okay, it's my implant, right? Because I was thinking, what else? But I'd had my implant for a year and a half or something like that, or 2 years. So I don't know how I thought it was my implant. I was just trying to think. But I had told my mum, and she was like, it might just be like anxiety. Just say, I'm not blaming the implant, but before I got my implant, I was like a stone. I had no emotions, which isn't a good thing, but I didn't cry over anything. I was not an emotional person. I had no fear of anything. So it could have been that. But I've got a new implant now, and I'm like fine. So I don't know what it is. I was like, no, you can't, I can't explain this. Like, I feel like if I jump off a bridge right now, I wouldn't die. Like, I couldn't explain it. Like, I didn't feel like I was real. When I was walking, everything just felt not okay. Like, everything just felt as if I was in a movie. Like, I felt like I was playing a video game. Then, so I went up outside the health centre, because it was on the Monday that they dealt with like implants and stuff, and I phoned my mum and I was like crying, bawling. Like, I had this overwhelming anger as well. Like, I was shouting at her and I was shouting at like my boyfriend at the time. Obviously that wasn't either of their faults, but it's because they just couldn't understand how I was feeling. I was shouting, I just wasn't in the right state of mind. I was like, I'm getting my implant out. Mum's like, I don't think that's a good idea because you might end up pregnant. And I was like, I don't care, like, it's making me feel like I'm not alive, like, screaming, crying. And then she talked some sense into me and I went home. I think it was like 3 days later. Every time I went to sleep and I woke up, I would just feel the exact same. And then one day I just woke up and I was fine and everything felt normal again, like how I feel right now. But I couldn't talk about how I felt, because if I spoke about how I felt at that point, I felt like I was going to fall back into that. The time, like, I'm not going to lie, I used to drink a lot, so I didn't drink for months after that. Well, not months, but maybe I never drank for a good few weeks after that, because I didn't want anything that could alter the state of my mind. At that time as well, like, I had took like a couple of drugs before, which I don't take drugs anymore, by the way. Like, I don't take drugs, but at that point when I was younger, I did now and again, which don't ever do, by the way. Never do that. I don't know if that was maybe part of the issue. I didn't want to take anything that could alter the state of my mind again. I was like, genuinely thought I was going to be sober for the rest of my life and never drink again, because I never wanted to feel like that again. At the end of the story, I looked it up and I seen this thing called like dissociation. So I think that's what happened to me, because it was like a trigger like of anxiety, and I was so anxious about dying all the time. And then he said, that's the only thing that makes sense, because he said about me about somebody knowing that they were going to die, and that just triggered me. It was literally after that sentence came out my mouth saying, how do you know how it feels when you die? But like, how do you know when you're going to die? And as soon as I said that sentence, it literally just triggered me. Ever since then, it's never happened again. Like, I've never been in that state of mind again. Never, ever, ever, ever again would I want that to happen or wish that upon anybody. But the thing is, right, like, if you're watching this and you know what the hell that could have been, please let me know, because I have no idea, and I'll just never understand what had happened to me. So it's so scary, because I genuinely felt like I was going insane. Like, I genuinely felt like I was going insane. At one point, I thought I was actually going to have to go to hospital, because the thoughts in my head were not okay. Thank you for watching. I just thought I would share that story with you. When I did tell some of my friends, they were like, oh my god, like, that's so funny, like, they didn't think you were real. But that just clicked in my head again. In fact, do you know what? It has happened to me one more time. And the one time that it happened to me was my previous ex. Like, I know when something bad's going to happen, okay? Like, I've got such a good sixth sense. And we were just started going out, but we were a bit rocky when we started going out. Just because, like, just wasn't it wasn't the right time, right at that, like, moment. Ever since, like, after that, we were absolutely perfect, but it was just the very, very start. And I was walking to work one day and I felt like he was going to break up with me. And I started feeling that I wasn't real again, and I started feeling that overwhelming feeling as if, like, I could just not go to work right now because it doesn't matter, like, nothing matters. And that's the only other time I felt like that. And then he did break up with me that day, but we ended up going back out like a couple of days later. But yeah, that's the only other time I felt like that. So that was major anxiety. That was like major, that was me being anxious. So I'm thinking it has something to do with anxiety, but I've not felt like that since I've moved here. And I moved here, what, 2018? Well, that's just maybe more calm. because at that point in my life, like, I wasn't in the best relationship. Like, that was full blown stress on my mental state, whereas ever since I moved here and I was with my previous ex, who didn't cause that effect on my brain. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a thumbs up and yeah, leave a comment and please subscribe. I love you all. Bye bye.